Hello YouTube. Today I'd like to share my experience and how I decided to pick the right ICF for my house building project. Now the first time I was introduced to an ICF material is through YouTube when I was searching on how to build a house, and I was very impressed. And you can build a house easily, and this is the perfect way of building house for DIY person. So the first one is QuadLock company, QuadLock ICF from British Columbia. I was proud of this company, knowing that there's an innovative companies in Canada, and their design seemed to be great. They have other products too. Afterwards, I learned about other ICF blocks, and this one became kind of not attractive to me because it looks great for crawl space, that kind of stuff, but I don't find it appealing with all these ties and so many pieces to put together. I don't find it appealing for a high-rise building or even walls, taller walls. So this is when I came across another company called Nudura, and let me stop this first. And Nudura is strangely enough, it's near where I live. It's in Barrie, Ontario, the headquarters, and they have their system. What makes them unique from another companies are their panels get shipped flat. You can find more about from the company on YouTube, and they claim to have the best interlocking system. Now, I'm not paid for this. Nobody's sponsoring me. I'm just sharing my experience as an average person. What I learned is that, ICF companies or ICF blocks are pretty much the same. They pretty much install the same way, a similar way. There are a few differences, and I'll just go over to what matters in those differences. After I did some research, I was also introduced to another company called HugSystems in my area. This is also out of Barrie. The person I was dealing with from this company claimed to own the company, and he claimed that before anybody came up with ICF systems, he was the one who did. And I don't know if that's true or not, but he seemed to be doing many other things too besides ICF constructions. He tried to sell me a web joist system, and he sent me this animation I was impressed about, and I got excited. However, after a while, I called around. It's always good to talk to the people in the industry, in construction industry in my area, and they told me they don't know anything about him. It looks like this company is great for a rich individual who would want to hire one person for everything. Otherwise, it's a small company, maybe, because these ICF blocks are made at a factory, like mostly from one factory. It seems like from Quebec. And these factories make for like an ICF blocks for all these companies in Canada, I think. So I guess if you have the mold, you can ship it to Quebec and make an ICF for yourself. I mean your own proprietary ICF blocks. That's what it looks to me. It does look like a well-organized company for ICF. So I chose not to go with him. But what happened with him and I is that he tried to have me sign a contract, and we had back and forth on the email, and he was doing so many things in the background I didn't know about. He told me he designed my house. I just sent him a sketch, and he said, oh, the drawing is finished, and he sent me an invoice. I'm like, I didn't tell you to make the drawing. I don't know if you did or not, but I didn't want to make, I wanted to be nice. So I feel bad for him, and then I emailed him saying I'm divorcing my wife, and then he replied saying, oh, you still, I feel for you, but you still owe me money. And I replied, no, I did not sign up to anything. I did not commit to anything. So we don't have contract, right? So you got to be careful, when you deal with anyone, put it in writing and make sure that everything is clear. And I learned my way. I learned a few of these things along the way. So the next company was when I moved to Kingston. And this is a company I came across, IntegraSpec. So what matters the most is the support that these guys give you, right? So when you're putting the blocks together, you need to have confidence. And the way you can have confidence is if you have somebody overlooking it. If you're doing it just by yourself, there's no double checking. So you will be, not sure of yourself, and that's not good. So I needed a support. And it seems that, so far, none of them provided support. In this company, I have a dealer in my area, is also a one-man person. He's actually like a house building contractor. He just builds a house. And he offered me to build the whole thing for me. And I said, I want to do some stuff by myself, DIY. And he kind of chuckled and in the condescending way said, there's no way you can be putting a house on bedrock by yourself. And he just pretty much told me I cannot do this. And that's like a challenge, So after a while, he disappeared. I called him. I left a message. He wasn't answering my message. So I called the company. The company basically said they defended him. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, they took his side than my side. Instead of saying, we'll find you somebody to help you, they just completely ignored me and said, you're calling him too much and give him some time. I'm like, okay, I moved on. So the next company, so they didn't provide the real support. So the next company is Foxx Blocks. So these two companies I liked, Foxx Blocks and Advantage. I was flirting around with these two back and forth. Foxx Block, I learned about these companies through my local hardware store where I was buying my other products. So they have a support system. They provide you a training. They will come to the store and provide you training, both Foxx Blocks and Advantage. And Foxx Blocks, they have other things like Foxx Buck, which is really great if you're a DIY person. And instead of using lumber, you can use that. And their bracing system is also great for both of them. But I was going between these two hardware store. One was selling Advantage and the other one selling Foxx Block, and they were offering me discount on other stuff that I'm buying from them, and I was jumping back and forth. Now Advantage is the other company. They have they're owned by a company called Plastifab, and I think they're out of Ottawa, Ontario, and they've been in the market for a long time. Even the city hall knows about them. They've been in the market for a long time. They have a bracing system on the corners. They use metal, which is looks better than what I've seen. And then also each course, they seem to be gluing each course, which makes them more stronger. So for bracing, it's much stronger. And they I don't know the history about their blowout. It looks very well organized installation. And then the key thing is support, and they have the support. Somebody will show up and train you at your site, at least spend 1 or 2 days with you, and it's great. The Foxx Block, on the other hand, they train you at the home hardware store, but they don't show up at the site, but they provide a phone support. Now, I was, thinking between, and the only thing that was making me decide was the other discount I could get from the hardware store, because they pretty much, all ICF blocks are pretty much the same. Gotta find the differences. Now, finally, what sold me, and this is the key, is a company called AMVIC, and it's owned by an immigrant from Russia, and his story is really an encouraging one. He's not involved in the company. The company's grown and is growing in the United States, I was told. So this company, they have another block system where the block has R35. So, and most of the blocks except Nudura, they are 4 feet wide, and they come as standards of R somewhere around R22 to 24 for insulation value, and they're 11-inch thick. That's the standard for all the companies. This company makes another block type which provide, they claim, R35, and the blocks are the length or the width of the block is 12, so the thickness of the block is 12.5 inch. The panels have on each side, they have an insulation of 3.5, 3.2, 3.3¼ inch thickness of the EPS foam on each side, and then 6 inch in between. That will make it 12.5 inch. So what is the price difference, you ask? $1 between the standard block and the one with R35. The price difference is $1. For $1 of price difference, you get 15, close to more than 10 art value. So that appealed to me. So then I was signed up. And then next thing is they also provide a support. So someone will show up at your site at least one day for one day and put it together. Actually, the guy on that video, promotional video, he showed up, and I forgot his name. I'm sorry. He's probably gonna kill me because I'm dealing with them now. So he showed up and helped me put together. It was great, and I had good times, and I learned a lot, and I was able to put it together. And they make custom forms, custom rigid forms for you, for ceiling, for floor, and they have a great flooring system. A great flooring system. This is what also attracted me. This is how I learned about them. The hydro foam flooring system that they have. It's a company out of Toronto, and for delivery is also great. Because I'm doing radiant floor heating on first floor on slab, grade on slab. I'm building my house on bedrock, so this is a great system. I didn't like the flat ones that's offered by Plastifab, and I like the one with the truck. It's easy to install the PEX tube for radiant heating. So they make that, so I buy that from them. They also make they also have a unique, if you are when you're building a wall, and if your wall is you know, if for your opening, your door openings, I don't have time to find it now, for window openings and stuff. Most of the other companies, you know, you have to rip the blocks, the bottom on top, and if you're short some amount of inch, you have to rip horizontally the blocks and tie it and attach it to the top. This company, they make another panel which is 4 inch high, like an addition piece, 4 inch high, 6 inch high, or 8 inch high. So if you are short to meet your height for a window opening at the bottom piece I'm talking about, then you can add this piece on top, and you meet your the height requirements that you need for your opening. So it's a great way, like if you have, it's an addition piece, it's a great way to it's in a website, you find it a great way to instead of wasting a whole block, a great way to increase your height by a certain inch, or either your wall or on your opening. So I decided this company, and it provided all the things I needed, the support I need, and the price is the same, except Nudura was very highly expensive, because Nudura sold their company to another group, and I guess they're now profit driven, controlled by bigger companies and stuff like that. The other ones, they all have the same pricing, around $24 for the standard block, and then this one costs $1 more for the R35 block, which is AMVIC Plus. I'm not getting anything from this company, I'm just sharing. I thought I should share this with you guys, you know, some kind of review, and why I chose the AMVIC. And you see me installing AMVIC out there. All right, if you enjoyed this video, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and comment. Thank you. Have a good day.